everyone! I'm here to do my half-year wrap-up, and I'm aware it's late, but better late than never. So, for the half-year, I have read 35 books and a total of 14,683 pages, which I think is a good amount for the half-year. You know, since my goal is only 50 books, I think it's pretty good. Because since then, my numbers jumped up to 43, so it's pretty good. The first book I read at the beginning of this year was Full Dark, No Stars by Stephen King, and this was a really good book. It was a compilation of short stories, and it was really good. I really enjoyed it. Let me see if I can read you the names of the short stories. The first one was 1922, the second was Big Driver, the third was Fair Extension, and the fourth was Good Marriage. And they were all really good short stories. My favorite, I think, probably had to be in between the, wow, I'm already blinking on it. Let's just, the 1922 and the Good Marriage. The Good Marriage was really, it was a good read. He wrote it very well. It kept me interested the entire time, and I read it pretty fast. So it's a pretty thick book for me to read. I think I read it in like 3 days, so it's pretty good. And the next book I read was The Dead by Charlie Higson, and I like this series. It gives a twist on zombies, so it's about kids that are surviving a disease that if you're over the age of 18, you turn into a zombie. So it's about them trying to survive since, you know, anyone over the age of, I think it's 18? No, it might be 16. I think it all depends on the kid. Because I know some of the kids in here were around 18, so, yep. But, it was a really good series. I still have to read The Sacrifice, and he's coming out with another book after that, so I'm excited to read those. And this book was described as The Lord of the Flies with zombies. So, you can't get better than that, because Lord of the Flies was awesome. And the next book I read was The Maze Runner. And I didn't enjoy this book as much as I thought I would. It was very hyped up. A lot of people like James Dashner books, and I thought I would too. But, it was well written. I don't know, there was just something about it that was kind of, I'm not sure, it just bothered me. But I'm hoping to, when the movie comes out, I will enjoy the movie more, because reading this, I think it as a movie would be a lot better than as a book series. So, yeah. And the next book I read was Unwind. And if you saw my video before this one, you know that I did not like this book at all. Neal Shusterman, like, I'm sure you're a really good author, but I didn't know what you were thinking with this one, because it was just not a fan. And the next book I read was City of Bones by Cassandra Clare, and this by far is my favorite series ever. Oh, I don't know. It's kind of like a tie between this and Hush Hush. I like that series too. But these books are amazing. I recommend them to everyone, and the movie's coming out next month. The next book that I read is a graphic novel, and it's a bind-up of the Walking Dead comic books. It's The Walking Dead Compendium 1, and this is amazing. If you love the TV show, you need to read this. It was so good. Kirkman is such an awesome writer, and he just has such great ideas, and I love his comic books. And I want to get some more of his that aren't The Walking Dead, because I always want to look into what else he has to offer. So the Walking Dead Compendium 1, it's really thick, because I think there's over, like, there's a lot of comic books in it. So there's 18 graphic novels, so it's got to be a lot. And then I read The Walking Dead Compendium 2, and it's equally as mammoth book. And this one, I think I liked it better than the Compendium 1. I liked I don't know, just it's really exciting series. I just liked it a lot. So the Compendium 2. And then since then they've released 2 graphic novels, and I have The Walking Dead Volume 17, Something to Fear, and this was really good. I cannot wait to get a hold of the other one. I just haven't, I don't know, every time I go into the bookstore I forget, and I just need to get it. I need to get it because I love these. They're really good. And the next book that I read is The Fear. So I think it's the 3rd book. If I'm wrong, I apologize. But I don't usually buy like new copies of books when I read series, but I had to get this one. Just like the binding's so pretty and black. I loved it. So yeah, this one was good too, and I'm planning on continuing the series, and that's by Charlie Higson. And the next book is Warm Bodies. I'm going to put a picture here because I have it on my e-reader, so I don't feel like going and getting it because I don't. But that was a really cute book. I really loved it. It was by Marion, and it was just adorable. I loved it. And then the next few books I think are books I got from the library, so I don't have those either, but I'll insert pictures. And that's Zombies vs. Unicorns, and it's a compilation of authors like Holly Black and people like that. So, yep, that, I think I give the book like a 3-star because it's hard for me to get through. I just wasn't a fan. Like, I like some of the stories in it, but all of them, like the unicorn stories, just a lot of them were just kind of like, I don't know if it's just because like I like darker reads or something, but like I like the unicorn stories where like it was the unicorns that want the virgin blood and stuff like that. Those were good, but the like, woo, kind of unicorn ones, no, I didn't like them. But then we have The Monstrumologist by Yancey, and I love that book. I need to read the 2nd book because I need to. And I'm thinking of owning the 1st book, just going and picking it up because it was that good. And I kind of like owning my series, and I don't want to buy the 2nd book and not have the 1st one. And then I have Before I Go to Sleep, and that is by, I want to say her last name's Walker. I forget. Okay, well I'm going to put the author's name right here. But this was a really well written book, really creepy. It was really good. I loved it. So definitely recommend that. And then I have The Color Purple by Alice Walker. And I think her name's Alice Walker. Once again, I didn't write authors down. You know what? I have it on this list, I bet. It is. It's by Alice Walker. I win. So Before I Go to Sleep most likely is not the last name Walker, so I was probably wrong. But The Color Purple by Alice Walker, just beautifully written book, really kind of distressing, but really good classic. And the next one that I have read is Thirst number 4, and this is about Elisa, and she's the last vampire, and it's a bind-up of Tortured Soul and Final Judgment in the Thirst series, and it's a really good series. I definitely recommend it. There's a total of 5 books in the series. And the next book that I read is City of Ashes, and that's the 2nd book in the Mortal Instruments series, and loved it. Which I love all the books, so I'm just going to show them to you instead of professing how much I love them. 'Cause I will. So, yep, City of Ashes. And then I read, let's see, Cinder by Marissa Meyer, and I thought this was an okay book. It was pretty good. I want to read Scarlet, but I'm just not in a rush. It wasn't that great that I like needed to read the next book, and I heard that it has nothing to do with this book basically at all anyways. So yeah, it was a good book though. The cover's cool. Bionic Girl, you know. It's a pretty cool book. And then I read Leviathan by Scott Westerfeld, and love this book. I need to get the book Behemoth, and I need to get it in hardcover because I don't know, I just do. Do they still sell the covers like this? because I want the matching covers, because I feel like the new ones have the pictures of the peoples on them, and I don't like that. So I'm going to have to find the old covers because I like them better. So yeah, but Leviathan. And next one I read was, and I can't find it, I know I own it. I just can't find it. And that is Fever 1793, and I'm going to put the author's name here because I'm blanking on it. And it was a very, very sad read, but it was a good book, and I recommend it if you're into historical fiction. And then the next book I read was Generation Dead. It's the first book in the Generation Dead series, and let's just ignore the sticker that I couldn't get off of it, and it makes me kind of angry. But it's a quick read, fun read. I liked it. It was an interesting take on zombies, so I like that. And the next book that I read was Keep Sweet, and this is by Michelle Dominguez Green, maybe? Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce her middle name, but this book was very kind of, it was disturbing. It was kind of gross. I liked it a lot, but it was gross. Yeah, but it was a good book overall. I definitely recommend it if you're into books about different kind of cultures stuff. This one's about kind of like a closed community, like an Amish community, and it was kind of gross. Just the whole part of the book that I'm talking about, if you read it, you know, it's just gross. Don't know how people can do that to their kids. The next book I read was Hush Hush by Becca Fitzpatrick, and love this series. It's so good. Love Pat. She's just, yep. Just love Nora. She's just such a great kind of female protagonist in the book. I just loved it. Overall, I just loved it. And the next book that I read was Vanished by Meg Cabot, and this is a bind-up of When Lightning Strikes and Codenamed Cassandra. And it was previously published as 1-800 Where Are You? And this book was really good. I really liked it. It's about a girl that gets struck by lightning, and all of a sudden she can find missing kids. She gets connected with them and can see their thoughts. So it's a really good book, and I didn't know until I was looking through the back, but it's continued, so I'm going to have to buy that book because it was really good. I really liked it. And the next book that I read is Crescendo, and it is the second book in the Hush Hush series, and it was equally as good. And the next book that I read is Flesh and Bone. It's part of the Betty and Morris series, and that is by Jonathan Mayberry. And I'll put a picture of that here. It's a really good series. I started reading like in the 8th grade and then just completely forgot about it and realized that they released a new book after Flesh and Bone, so I got it. This is pretty good. And I think they're releasing one more too. And the next book that I read is Silence by Becca Fitzpatrick, and it's the third book in the Hush Hush series, and so good. Just the whole series is amazing. And then I read Finale because I had to read it. I just had to read both books in a row, and this was so upsetting. It was a happy ending, but so upsetting. The fight scene, yeah, but it was good. And they're making it into a movie, and I may or may not have woke my mom up at 4 in the morning to tell her that they're making it into a movie because I was so excited. Yeah, it was bad. But the next book I read was Thirst Number 5, the final book in the series, and this book is a bind-up of Ancient Secrets and Epic Retribution, and it's really good. And once again, this is by Christopher Pike. I don't think I said his name the first time, so it's by Christopher Pike. The next book that I read is City of Glass, and this is by Cassandra Clare, and it's book 3 in the Mortal Instruments series, and it was equally as good. You know, if you've read it, you know what I mean. It was pretty good. And then I had to buy, because I had a fangirling moment, and realized they had a graphic novel of Hush Hush, and I bought it. It contains an all-new original story. Yep. The only problem with the all-new original story is it's white on black paper, and I can't see certain colors in certain colors, so it took me literally an hour to read it, because I can't read colors like that on colors like that. I have to read black on white or I can't see it. It's one giant blur. So yeah, it was good though. If they don't come out with another one, I'm gonna be very upset. Very upset. So come out with that book of Fitzpatrick. Just do it. Come out with it. And then I read City of Fallen Angels, which is the 4th book in the Mortal Instruments series, which may be my favorite one. Not sure yet. It's kind of like a tie between this and the 5th one. Very good though. And the next book I read was Girl Interrupted, and this is by Susan Kaysen. And if you're wondering why I'm talking fast, it's because my camera's dying. And I want to beat it, so I will. And this is a true story. It's really good. I saw the movie before I read the book, but I'm so glad I picked the book up because it was really good. It was really interesting. It has pages that show her like medical charts and stuff like that, and I'm studying to be a psychologist in college, so very interesting. And the next book I read was The Graveyard Book by Neal Gaiman, and this book is beautiful. I love this book, and you need to read it. That's just it. You need to read it. It's amazing. I can't say enough about it, so I'm not going to because it's just that good. It's beautiful, sad, just amazing. You need to read it. Neal Gaiman is an amazing author. And the next book that I read was City of Lost Souls, and this isn't the final book in the series because there's another book coming out that needs to come out now because I want to read it, but it's not out yet. And this book I didn't like as much because now I'm thinking about it. Yeah, this is the book that I didn't like as much. I said I liked it before, but actually now I'm thinking about it, this one wasn't as like, I don't know, it just, the whole thing with her brother and stuff and like Jace, it was just kind of like weird, and I don't know. I still love the series though, I just thought it was really weird. And the last book that I read, Book of Latch, and that is Visible Darkness, A Memoir into Madness by William Stryon, and this book was very interesting. If you don't like non-fiction reads and you're not interested in psychology, this will bore the crap out of you. But if you do like psychology and non-fiction, you should read this, 'cause it's pretty good. It's pretty good. It has a nice picture of his face on the back, you know. No, some knots on the back, just his face. So it's an interesting read. Yep, about a man's kind of descent into depression. So, yeah, it's very interesting. And so that is all that I read for my half-year wrap-up. I think I'd read a pretty good amount. So I will do another video at the end of the year with all the books I read, not including these ones. I'll link the video though, because I think I'm just going to do a separate video on the other half of the books I read, because if I didn't, it'd be like an hour long. So yeah. But anyways, I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you later. Bye!